Yo, what's up? My name is Ray, and welcome to my channel. And as y'all probably would see, the header on my channel is Philly Dark One. That's a name that I go by. You know, I used to do some recording with music. I used to do music, little hip hop. If y'all look me up on YouTube, you can look up Philly Dark One, and you'll see a number of things that I've done. But I hopped on here tonight because I was watching this channel called, family, like a family-oriented channel, a guy by the name of Dante London. And I want to give a shout out to him for inspiring me to shoot this video, because if y'all look at my other channels, you know, I've done a lot of stuff with, I got a channel called More Hip Hop News TV, and I've done stuff like that. And, you know, and Dante London and his wife inspired me to just jump on here and just, you know, talk about who I am, something natural, something not cut up, something, you know, different for me. Just being transparent, not putting on no airs, not running from no script, not talking about somebody else, just talking about me. And I just wanted to get on here, you know, and just tell y'all about me, you know, and basically, you know, like I said, I got the channel Philly Dark One, and I got, that's the channel y'all watching this from, and also I got like I said, a More Hip Hop News TV, but also where More Hip Hop News TV started from, it started from my clothing brand, a More World Needs More, and that's what I'm wearing right now. Is one of my hoodies, if y'all can see it through here, a More World Needs More. And basically I started this clothing brand from I had two brothers that was murdered in Philadelphia. And, you know, it's like, you know, we live in the city of Philadelphia where it's supposed to be brotherly love, but you don't see a lot of that, you know, here in Philly. For people that live here, they know exactly what I mean. If you don't live here, then you probably know also by seeing through the, you know, news, television news camera, you know, and just the reputation precedes us back here in Philly. And, you know, like I said, you know, my two brothers being murdered, that inspired me to start this clothing brand called The More World Needs More, you know, and I felt like I wanted to do it, you know, just as something that's positive, you know, and it's in a more, we all know what a more stands for. It stands for love. And I basically wanted, you know, to just, you know, make love cool again. If I could create a sweatshirt that's, you know, about love, and, you know, people can talk about it and see it and want to wear it because it's a nice, cool logo, then that's what I was going to do in the spirit of my two brothers. You know, I lost two brothers, you know, with this violence, you know, and they both, you know, passed over something, you know, frivolous, some frivolous beefs that didn't have to be. But, you know, it's sad to say that that's what happens in Philadelphia. A lot of people, you know, meet their demise because of, you know, frivolous beefs and drugs and, you know, stuff that really don't mean nothing in the real scope of life, you know. But this is what they perish from. And, you know, not that they was guilty of anything, you know, my brothers, you know, didn't sell drugs or nothing like that. You know, they wasn't perfect citizens, but they wasn't into the drug life, and they wasn't into the street culture. You know, at least one of my brothers, but another one of my brothers, he was definitely, you know, he definitely had a street background, but he wasn't no, you know, drug dealer or nothing. He wasn't out there robbing people or nothing. He just, you know, he was in the streets. You know, he was outside, you know, and he got caught up in a number of things and went to jail and everything, but came home and, you know, tried to make a life out of it. And, you know, he, you know, got into a relationship, and one thing led to another, and he was murdered because of it, you know. And my other brother, he was, you know, once again got into a relationship and met his demise because of it. And, you know, it's just a crazy, you know, situations that happen in Philly, and those are just two of them, like I said, and that's what inspired me to start my clothing brand. But that's just, you know, one part of me. You know, I also work at a Philadelphia-based hospital where, I work in physical therapy. I'm a mobility aid, and basically what that is that, you know, we get patients up that's, been in car accidents or whatever, been shot or had surgery, and we get them back on their feet. We get them to exercising and walking around and moving or whatever, just, helping them, you know, get mobile, get moving again. And, it's not an easy job because, some people really don't want your help. Some people rather just fold up the tents and walk away. But then you got some people who, really desire to have somebody to help them because they want to get back on their feet. And it's kind of fickle because some days you can go into a room and people will curse you out, when you just trying to help them. Then you got some people who you go in the room and they just, you the best thing since sliced bread to them. Like they like, wow, like thank you for coming in and helping me. But what I learned by working at this hospital is that, everybody has a story, regardless of how they meet you and treat you. You gotta refrain from passing judgment on them because, you never know what they've been through to get to this point where you find them at now, and it may not been something, crazy or whatever, but, people act a certain way because of things that they've been through in their life, and they may spat out at you, and show anger when you're just trying to assist them and, show love to them, and they, basically crash out on you when you trying to assist them. And first, that rubbed me the wrong way. I wasn't taking lightly to that because I'm like, I'm coming in your room and I'm trying to, assist you to get back on your feet, and you cussing me out and calling me all kinds of names, and that rubbed me the wrong way because, I grew up in the streets, and somebody, come out in attack mode on you, you come back in attack mode. But, I had to think because I watched so many people, treat these people in, crazy ways because of the way they found them. You know what I mean? They thought that they had to respond in that nature. How some people say you fight fire with fire, and that's what I saw a lot. At this hospital where I work at, that's where I saw a lot of people fighting fire with fire, just treating people how they treat them. And when you in that point of power, because you are in a powerful position, when you're dealing with people and you're dealing with their health, you got to control your emotions and your feelings. You got to take your emotions and your feelings out of it because people are hurting. People been through stuff, and it just makes me think about one person I dealt with, there where I worked with them, and they told me their life story. And her life story, one of the things that, just, blew me off my feet was the fact that, she said that she watched her mom get stabbed to death. And I was like, wow. And that's when it hit me. It was like, you can't judge these people. I can't pass judgment on them or lash back out at them because I don't know what they've been through. And that just showed me, to just, give people grace because you don't know their story. You don't know, what got them here at this point and what got them acting the way they act. You know what I mean? People don't come out the womb evil, mad, and frustrated and angry and depressed and hooked on drugs and hooked on alcohol. You know what I mean? And people don't come out the womb like that. And you got to be careful when you're dealing with the public that, you gotta just try to fight back the urge to pass judgment on them because people need grace. I need grace. You need grace. Like everybody need grace. You want somebody to treat you, good. So you gotta, in return, treat people good. And all the time it ain't gonna come first from them treating you good. So you gotta sometimes, step out of your lane and, give it up first. Try to, give what you would like to receive from people. And that's what I noticed by doing this job is that, you know, it was hard in the beginning, but I know it was teaching me something. It was teaching me how to, you know, have patience and have, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Compassion, you know, for the next man in spite of, you know, whatever I went through in my life. You know what I mean? Because I've been through some traumatic things in my life where, you know, I grew up in the home, excuse me, y'all, I got allergies, so y'all might see me do that a number of times. People who had allergies, y'all know how it is. You know, when you're going through those symptoms, your nose get to running. But besides the point, you know, like I was saying, you know, I've been through some stuff in my life where I grew up in a violent household. You know what I mean? Where, you know, my father was violent to my mom, and, you know, and that violence was, you know, perpetrated to me, you know, and it was like, you know, it impacted my life. You know what I mean? So, you know, but I didn't let that, you know, turn me into a bad person. I let that motivate me to be a better person. That I let that motivate me to, you know, teach me how the type of person to not become, and not say that my pops was a bad person, but, you know, he just chose to deal with conflict in a different fashion, and that just showed me of what not to do. And, you know, and with speaking of my dad, you know what I mean, nobody knows what he went through to get to that point where he was violent with my mom. You just see what I'm saying? So we got to understand that this thing is wild the way life is, because once again, as I say, we all been through something, and it kind of create and molds the type of person that you are. It create and molds the type of person that you know, that you put out to public, that the public see, but the public don't know what you went through. The public don't know what you've seen. The public don't know what you experienced, you know, and the public really, all they know is what you project, you know, and it's hard for people to, you know, project nice and friendly when they've been through so much. When they, like, you know, with people in Philadelphia, if you come across people in Philadelphia and you ain't never been here, like, you be like, man, I don't never want to come back here again. These people are miserable, they evil, they mean-spirited, they don't want to speak to you, you can't even speak to them, they don't want to smile to you, and, you know, and I don't want to say that that's the majority, but a lot of times than not, that's what you're going to come across in Philly, you know what I mean? But you will come across nice people. All the people ain't like that, but a lot of people is like that here. And like I said, you know, not to get off topic, you know, that's what, you know, molded me, you know, just growing up in a household where, you know, I saw violence, you know what I mean? So it just taught me, it just showed me a mirror of myself by dealing with patients who, you know, who was not violent with me, but who was aggressive to me, who was, you know, and I couldn't be aggressive back because I come from an aggressive environment. So it was like, it was wild for me. It floored me. It was like, you know what I mean? If somebody barking at me, I'm ready to bark back. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that's how Philly is, and that's how you grow up. You know what I mean? You grow up, you gotta, you know, you gotta fight fire with fire, but it just taught me to just, you know, fall back and give people compassion. And that's one of the aspects that this job taught me, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's funny because I think about a patient that I worked with today, and it's just like, it's weird because I experienced one of those, you know, situations today where I came across this patient, and, you know, at first she was nice, you know, and when she was laying in the bed, when I came into the room and introduced myself and such, and I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm such and such. I'm a mobility aid, whatever. And, you know, they want me to come here and work with you. And she was like, yeah, I'm ready to get up. I'm ready to go. But remember, I came back. This is a comeback. I went to go see her like 2-3 days ago, and she was just like, no, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing. Every time I came in and tried to work with her, she was like, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing. But this day, she was ready to work. She was, when she saw me, yeah, come on, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. You know, so you know, but then she's got some things, you know, wires and everything got to be dealt with. So I called the nurse and I'm like, nurse, you know, you want to come in and, you know, assist her and help her so we can, you know, ambulate. That's what they call, you know, walking in the hospital, ambulate. So the nurse said, yeah, I'll take care of her and da-da-da-da. And, you know, she helps her with her wires and take off all kinds of personal effects or whatever she got to do. So I get her up, get her moving with the rollator. And the rollator is, you know, if y'all don't know, it's like a four-wheel contraption that y'all see the older people walk with out in public where it got a seat on it. Y'all might see an old lady, old man, or whoever at the bus stop sitting with one, and she had her own personal one. So I get her up, I get her moving, and, you know, the way they taught you how to help ambulate patients that need assistance, they want you to be close into them, like in their personal space, like with the hand on the back, and just kind of guiding them. And when I did that to this patient, she barked at me, "Get off me!" And I was like, and there was another one of those moments, and it caught me off guard because she was so nice early on, and I was just like, all right, you know, I said to myself, you know, my bad, but I ain't say nothing to her. I just stepped back away. You know, I ain't stepped fully away, but I took the guiding hand off of her, and she was like, you know, I got this, and I'm like, then it kicked in. My mobility aid training was like, ma'am, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to assist you. You know, I don't want you to fall. I got this. You know, she's snapping at me. And I'm like, oh, wow. You know, once again, it caught me off guard. You know, I wasn't prepared for because initially she was nice and, you know, open to me. And it was just like, all right, well, what you want me to do? And I'm like, you know, let's calm down. And she's like, what you want me to do? Where you want me to go? And I'm like, you know, I said, let's go. Let me take you back to the bed. No. I want to walk. And I'm like, all right, but calm down. Let me guide you. Let me help you. No. She's snapping like this on me. And I'm like, so I had to reapproach, you know. So I'm like, all right, listen, that's what we're going to do. You're going to walk here, out the door, and then we're going to turn back. So you can, because in the middle of that, and I forgot, she was like, I got to go to the bathroom. I said, all right, well, you know, how about you go to the bathroom before we take the walk? No, let's just walk. And I'm like, all right, well, let's walk. Boom, where you want me to go? I said, all right, just walk out here, because the nurse was out in the hallway at the time. So I said, we walk out here, and then you turn back and go to the bathroom. All right. So I get her back, we walk, get back around, turn back around. She did about 10 feet, turn back around. She goes into the bathroom, and I'm like, let me do, I got this. And I'm like, all right, calm down. Like, everything was a bark, and I'm like, yo, like, it's catching me off guard, because it's like, you know what I mean? It's like in the flurry and barks, and I'm like, okay, all right. I said, well, if you need help, you know, just pull it, because they got like emergency string that you can pull just in case you need help getting out the bathroom. You know, we don't want them to do it themselves, so we want them to, you know, pull the string, and we will come assist them, or the nurse will come assist them. So I'm telling her, you know, pull the string. I got this. And I'm just like frozen with it. I'm like, yo, like, my head in this world, because I haven't seen this type of energy in a while. So it caught me off guard, but it was just like, it just reminded me of, you know, people who, you know, who want the assistance, but yet still want their independence. And it's hard to navigate that when you're trying to assist them and you're trying to help them, and you don't want them to re-injure themselves. So you just like taken back in the moment, like, what do I do? Like, how do I give her independence and her space, but yet, you know what I mean, try to be, you know, comforting and protective, because this is my patient and something happened to her, she fall or something, and I'm like, you know, I'm in trouble. Like, I got to answer to, you know, my higher ups or whatever. But, you know, this video is getting long. I don't want to get too long-winded with y'all, but that's just an introductory, you know, into my life. You know, one of the things that I do, you know, for a living, I'm a mobility aid, and I will tell y'all more about that. And I'll tell y'all more about, you know, my More Hip Hop News TV channel. Y'all can go and watch it. you know, at Amore Hip Hop News TV, A-MORE Hip Hop News TV. Y'all can check that out if y'all want to. And y'all can subscribe to this channel, my Philly Dark One, you know, and I'll do more stuff like this on here where, you know, it's more organic, it's more straightforward. It ain't, you know, interrupted, it ain't scripted, it ain't, you know, fluff, and it ain't none of that stuff. It's just me keeping it real and, you know, and talking about, you know, real life things. And I will talk more about, you know, my clothing brand, you know what I mean, and what I'm doing with it and where I'm going with it. And I just, you know, got a new item in for my clothing brand, and you know, it's something for the ladies, and I'll tell y'all more about that on the next video. But I just, you know, thank y'all for tuning in to this one. And once again, I want to shout out Dante London and his family and his wife for inspiring me to do this, and I'm glad I did it. You know, it was kind of unnerving because I've never, you know, been off script and just letting it go. I always had something, you know, a comfortable confines of knowing what I'm talking about, and it's scripted and I know it and it's a hot topic. But when you being transparent, you know, about yourself, that's the hardest thing to do in life, is to be transparent. And that was just a clip into my life and my day. And I will tell y'all more about my life and who I am, you know, in videos to come. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, my name is Ray, and on my channel I go by the name of Philly Dark One. Y'all can subscribe if y'all want to, or y'all can just like this video and, you know, do what y'all want. It's up to y'all. This is free, willy-nilly. Do what y'all want. I'm not expecting nothing. I'm just gonna come in here and just keep posting these videos to just give y'all some insight on what I do every day. And I know y'all can see the Christmas tree behind me. Wifey did this, and you know, I want to give her flowers on that, because she did that within 10-15 minutes. That was amazing to me. She did it by herself. Can y'all really see the beauty of that? I'm gonna try to get y'all in on that. This thing is amazing. Like, look how beautiful this tree is. Like, she really did her thing with this. You know, this is crazy awesome. I think this is one of her better looking trees, if not the best. Like, this is amazing looking tree. Check that out. Got a little gifts under it here and there, you know. And then I got some fish too, you know, and I'll let y'all, you know, see more about that on the next video. But you know, this is cool, me doing this video. And I'll get back to y'all. We're gonna end this at 22. I ain't know I could talk this much, but like I said, it's your boy Ray, and you know, tap in with me when y'all want to, all right? Peace.